Hey everyone, today is day 8 of our soulful journey. And so we've been going through different topics over the last 8 days. And so today's topic is the art of active listening. So the art of active listening is one of the things that oftentimes most people don't get it right. It's a challenge sometimes to have that active listening. So active listening isn't where you just listen and hear what the words that are coming in, but it's about being able to be present and knowing what it is that people are saying. So within their body language, right? So there's a difference between I'm fine to I'm fine to I'm just trying to think of another that's not probably the best examples, but it's still like that body language, right? So like that frumpy, like when I came on, I was like, so my body language was saying, oh, she's either bored or she's tired. But I didn't tell you that I was bored or tired or anything. I just came on with my hand on my under my chin and being able to do that listening. The other thing is about active listening is like being able to kind of tune in. So when pay attention to your body language when somebody's talking and you're really disinterested in what it is that they have to say, how does your body respond? And so it's that yeah, okay, whatever, go ahead, tell me whatever it is that you want me to tell, whatever it is you want to say. Even though you don't say that, that's exactly what you're saying. Okay, whatever, say whatever you want to say. And so being able to have that part of things, so like being able to be open and having that discussion and being willing to hear what it is that people have to say. But when you come in with your fist clenched and you have like nothing nice to say, then your body language will tell you that as well. Even if you have a beautiful smile on your face, everything is good and life is grand according to your face, that's not necessarily what your body is going to be telling them. So it's just really important for us to be able to tune in. So the next time that you know that you're having a conversation with somebody who you are disinterested or you don't believe in what it is that they're saying or you don't really care what it is that they have to say, just pay attention to your body language. Notice what it is that your body's doing as to how you're responding. And when there's somebody who like there's like super exciting about what it is that they're telling you, and like pay attention to your body language then as well. So just notice what it is that you're doing. And so for a long time I would actually sit, because I was like super cold all the time, so I would sit like this all the time. And so it was perceived as me being closed and not really wanting to hear what other people were saying, but it was just that I was cold. And so I've completely different than my mom, my sister, my grandson. They've got like this external body heat that happens that they can probably heat up the entire house. So they don't have that piece, and so they're not necessarily sitting there with their arms closed and like trying to stay warm. So one of the things that I've learned to do is, so that I can actually still remain open, is that I put my elbows on the desk and like I'm still trying to stay warm because it's a little chilly in here, or I put on a sweater. But it's just a way of being able to do that so that I can still kind of stay, even though I'm not engaging and talking to somebody. So we just literally just had a session. And so it was that part of things. And that active listening is really important. So being able to not go through and get distracted. Really hard. Sometimes, like today, I had lots of different things that were going on in my mind, and I had to just keep kind of paying attention to like what were they saying. And sometimes what I will do is I will doodle. So I'm just going to try and make sure that I don't have anything on here that shows anybody's information. Because like, so I was just doodling. So one person I was doodling, and then the next person that I had to talk to, not had to talk to, that I was talking to, then I started coloring it in, because I've got my pencils, I've got crayons and stuff on my desk, and I've got those ones, and I've got these little ones as well. So then it's just kind of just doodling. And so I started off with just drawing while I was just sitting here, and then but that allows me to be able to stay focused because, and then the other thing that I do, which is what I was doing, was hiding the words, is because then I will actually just kind of jot down a word that they said. So if you actually said happy, then I would write down happy, or, and it's just a way of me being able to kind of stay present in what it is that is going on when I'm having a conversation with people. And so sometimes it's I'm really taking notes because I just need to take notes. Whereas a lot of times if I've got my pen in my hand, I'm really just kind of like trying to make sure that I'm staying focused on what it is that's going on. So today I kept kind of wandering off, and it's like, oh, okay, come back. Oh, I'm wandering off. Okay, come back. We all have those days. And so when we're stressed, when we're worried, those are different times when we're going to have um, that conversation, or those um, yeah, so like we're going to have that kind of different kind of conversation about what it is that's going on. And so, and even while I'm talking, it's like, oh yeah, I want to remember not to forget something, so I'm writing it down so that I don't forget, so that I can kind of like then look back down on my note and being able to see that. So that's that active listening, being able to like tuning into what they're saying, and like I said, pay attention to how you react. And because maybe your norm, like I said, my norm of having my arms closed wasn't because I was closed off to hearing anybody. I was just really trying to stay warm. And so, so just being aware of your body stance is another thing, right? So like when you're towering over somebody, you're like being more intimidating. So like just being able to kind of just sit back down. Like, so that's one of the things that they teach you, or that they tell you about, when you're talking to kids and you're trying to teach them what you're doing, is making sure that you get down to their level and having those conversations. So, but sometimes it's really hard to have the conversations when we are emotionally invested. So sometimes it's a conversation that we need to come back to later. And I think sometime earlier this week, I talked about that, unless it was in a session that I was talking to somebody about it, is that when we have something that is heated and it's something that we may not necessarily be able to control our emotions, is that sometimes we have to take a step back from that conversation and not have the conversation at that moment. But the key is at that moment. So when our emotions are heightened, we sometimes need to take a step back so that way there we can come back and have that conversation again. And so just really important for us to be able to practice that and just be in that time and in that space. So one of the things that I'm going to do is schedule a time. So because I want to be able to do some practice exercises on active listening with a group of you. So we would actually jump on Zoom, and then we will actually break out into breakout sessions where you would get paired up. Maybe there might be 3, depending on the number of people who show up. And so I am probably going to have something set up sometime next week, because my schedule is full this week. And so I will have a look and see, and then I will put an invite. So if you're interested and you're catching the replay, then just make a comment and I will get you added, and or you can send an email to info@rolialair.ca. And because if I don't do it, if you didn't get to make it in to, like if you're catching the replay and you didn't get to make it in to the next one that we're doing, then we will make arrangements for another one anyway, because it's something that I really want to be able to practice a lot more, because these are conversations that I've been having with clients for some time, of like, well, okay, what did, like, how did you know that they weren't happy about that? Or because sometimes we also make assumptions. And so that's the other thing to think about and consider as well. So, but yeah, so there's lots in terms of listening that is really important. And sometimes we need to listen to the nuances. And sometimes we need to pay attention to the body language. And sometimes we need to pay attention to the words. And so again, it's words that we use, it's words that we hear. So then we need to pay attention to some of those things that are going on. So on that note, I will chat with all of you guys later and hope you guys have a fabulous day. Bye for now.